Hello dear students, this is a tutorial on supply chain management and logistics course. This is an introductory tutorial. The topic of this tutorial is concept of supply chain management and logistics. The learning objectives are to understand the concept of logistics and supply chain management, to understand different functions associated with logistics, to learn the implications of supply chain management on logistics management, and to understand the differences between supply chain management and logistics. So the basic objective of this tutorial is to make you understand the differences between supply chain management and logistics. So this is to create your foundation about the course. Let's first discuss the concept of logistics. As per concise Oxford Dictionary, logistics means the branch of military science concerned with the procurement, transportation, maintenance, and supply of troops, equipment, and facilities. This particular concept, logistics, is now adapted in business too. Logistic management involves coordinating the flow of materials from a large number of suppliers and also managing the distribution of the finished products by way of multiple intermediaries. Here you see in this model, in the first box there is supplier and in the last box there is customer. So this logistics, this is the management of the processes, activities, operations that took place for sourcing the materials from suppliers till delivery of the finished product to customers. Now here there are two flows. One is materials flow and the other is information flow. Now this in the middle bigger box, under this bigger box you have noticed three boxes. One, there is procurement, then operations, then distributions. Now procurement means sourcing of the materials or sourcing of the inputs. Those may be raw materials, components, assemblies, or maybe work in progress or in various other forms. Now manufacturers needs the procurement of those raw materials or inputs from suppliers, and after procurement those are put for processing. So there they need to take various operations or they need to perform various activities, say processing or production of those raw material into finished goods or into its next stage. Then maybe that packaging or allotment may be required. So these are the various functions. Then warehousing and transportation, these are various operations that need to perform for distribution of the goods that has been produced. Now distribution that leads to delivery of the products to customers, and that is the materials flow. Now information flow, say the customers what they want, they will let it know to the distributors, say to the retailers, to the wholesalers, or say what they like about the product, what they dislike about the product. All this information will be sent to the distributors. Then the distributors again, they may say send information in the form of order placing or say other what are the complaints that are coming from customers. So those will be let known to the various departments of the organization, maybe say the marketing department, say research and development department. So in this way the information flow from customers to the suppliers point. So basically this logistic is about managing this flow of material and information, and this management of flow is required. Why? So that right quality, right quantity products are available at the right destination or at the right customer. Now here the more detail about logistic, say this raw material component suppliers, from them the materials are supplied to the manufacturing firm. There, processing and assembling took place, and that leads to finished products. These finished products again need to be distributed to customers, varied types of customers, and for that, varied type of functions or operations are again required, or you can say services are required, such as transportation, warehousing, inventory management, then order processing, administration, etc. So this is about logistics. Now see here the components of logistics, or you can say the major operations or functions that need to be performed. Inventory management, warehousing and storage, transportation planning, material handling, order processing, distribution, communication, packaging, salvage and scrap disposal, return goods handling, customer service, and so on. Now about these functions or operations, I will discuss in subsequent tutorials. This logistics encompasses the total flow of materials from acquisition of the raw materials and purchase components parts to delivery of a finished product to the customer. Variety of activities involved in the flow of products from point of origin to point of consumption. Now let's discuss about the supply chain. Supply chain is a network of organizations that are having linkages both upstream and downstream in different processes and activities that produce and deliver the value in the form of products and services in the hands of ultimate consumer. All the organizations in the chain are independent. Now what is upstream and what is downstream, that I am showing with an example. So say this is a supply chain network example. Here in the example you have seen that, say, the product under example, that is manufacturing of shirt. So this shirt manufacturer, what they need to do, the shirt manufacturer need to procure fabrics from weavers. So this is procurement. Again, the weavers of fabric, they need to procure the yarn or fibers from the manufacturers of yarn or fibers. So they need to source the material from this stage. Now this is the manufacturer of yarn, then weavers of fabric and shirt manufacturers. You can say this is the linkage which is termed as upstream. The shirt manufacturers, once they produced or manufactured the finished product, that is a shirt in our example, those products that need to be delivered to the retailer, or rather you can say that retailers, they need to procure the products, that is shirt, from the shirt manufacturers, and the retailers, again, if there is any requirement of, say, packaging, branding, then those will be done by retailer, and after that the product will be delivered to the point of customer. So from shirt manufacturers, then the linkage with retailer and customer, this is called as downstream. This downstream and upstream, including both of these, it constitutes the supply chain. Now you need to understand what is the implication of supply chain management on logistics management. Supply chain management raises the challenge of integrating and coordinating the flow of materials from multitude of suppliers, and similarly managing the distribution of the finished product by way of multiple intermediaries. So as you already learned, the objective of logistic management is to manage the flow in such a way that there is minimization of cost and efficiency achievement. Now this, if the linkage between the parties, that means, say, the customers, retailers, manufacturers, then raw material suppliers, if the linkage is not that much good, then it raises the challenge to achieve the objectives of logistic management. Then transferring cost upstream or downstream leads to logistic myopia, as all cost ultimately will make way to the final marketplace to be reflected in the price paid by the end user. So the meaning is that if there is less efficiency in supply chain management, then it again raises problem in achieving the objective of logistic management, and that ultimately result into price paid more by the customers. Now these are the differences between logistics and supply chain management. Logistics management is primarily concerned with optimizing flows within the organization, while supply chain management deals with integration of all the partners in the value chain. Again, logistics is essentially a framework that creates a single plan for the flow of products and information through a business. Supply chain builds upon this framework and seeks to achieve linkage and coordination between processes of other entities in the pipeline, that is, suppliers and customers and the organization itself. The objectives of logistics is to link the marketplace, the distribution network, the manufacturing processes, and procurement activity so as to provide higher level of service to the consumer, yet at a lower cost. But the prime objective of supply chain management is to reduce or eliminate the buffers of inventory that exist between organizations in a chain through the sharing of information on demand and current stock level. So this about supply chain management and logistic management. The information that I have presented in this tutorial, those are collected from these sources. So I'm concluding this tutorial here. In my subsequent tutorial, I'll discuss about transportation, which is a major component of logistics management. Thank you.